this around though is that like you get this thing where they're teaching you these basics so you can like at least start. But then if you're teaching them to incorrect, then you're going to have these weird assumptions, and that you have to either dispel with, and the teacher knows that and a good teacher will know that, okay, here's the thing that we taught you, here's the thing that you were supposed to learn out of that, and here's the thing that we need to get rid of and replace. And a teacher that knows that will be able to do that. But right now we're teaching, like, you go look at stuff like the gender unicorn or something like that in elementary schools, and you're like, are you a masculine, feminine, or other? And now, what is other? Is there some third thing that we know, some other thing?
What's even the point of that?
They actually, no, I was actually like reading I was on the like one of the intersex advocacy websites, and they were saying that like raising them as a third gender is probably harmful because other people don't understand what that means. And it just makes it more complicated, and then makes them frustrated. Well, and it puts them in a special box of like, you are this, you're different and special from everyone else, which is like not always the most helpful way of thinking about yourself.
But then there's like physical attraction and emotional, which is apparently completely separate. And then you have identity and expression. So identify, but then you have all these complications, and you're trying to teach these to kids, which these are almost intentionally constructed to be, confusing.
Well, and the other issue with that is that they're not separate. Like, again, there are differences in them, but they're not like for instance, I have a friend that's bisexual, and she is attracted to females, but she never wants to date a female. She doesn't want to live with one, but she's still attracted to them. That's the thing that can happen, right? It's not, there's differences, but they're not, it's like your mind and body. Like back in the old mind and body days are being separate. They're not. Your thoughts influence your body. Like, it's a complicated relationship, and you can think of them as being separate for a metaphor for some states and some diseases and some like things that are going on. But at the end of the day, they're the same thing. And that's the thing with
still an open debate though.
A lot of these is that but the thing is that when things are complicated, that's hard. And people like things to be like simple, one bit, like easy sentences to remember. Like, I want to watch a 20-second video that explains the difference between sex and gender. It's like, no, go away. You're not going to learn that. Like, that's not how this works. We can't just like, and there's so many things out there that are like that. And at least even if you don't understand them all, if you can at least recognize that there is a complex difference, even if you don't completely understand it, like, that's growth, and that's better.
So, and I think at some point that it comes down to, like, everyone's trying to fit themselves into a box, but the box is essentially, what is it to be you as that individual unit of humanity, not as, part of a whole, because which group do you belong to? Because, you get these, I'm looking at this particular one I'm looking at has 12 and 3 other different variables that when you put them together, you get like after like 4 variables, you get into combinations in the millions, and eventually it just becomes you. So why are we not dealing with individuals when it comes to these issues, rather than why are we dealing with groups when we're dealing with individual developmental things?
I think one of the issues is that people are not recognizing that this is a tool to help you understand yourself. It's not a label and a box that you can put yourself in. It's just helping you think about what you think about yourself. That's what it's supposed to like run you through a thought process of like, okay, what am I attracted to? What sort of traits do I have? Like, do I like wearing dresses? Do I like hitting things with sticks? What does that mean? And it's just like some self-awareness. It's basically trying to teach you like some self-awareness, but in a very specific thing. And what you're supposed to, and I think the point that you want to get out of it isn't, I'm and you just throw a bunch of words that are like half made up.
And you get a flag.
The point you want to get is that you understand how you work, and you don't need to put labels on yourself. Like labels are nice because they're easy. Like Jimmy's a trumpet player. Okay, now I remember who Jimmy is. And then as I get to know Jimmy more, then I don't have to just think of him as a trumpet player. I know him as more things. Like they're not just labels anymore. And you shouldn't be thinking about yourself in labels. You should be
Right.
thinking about yourself in a complex way because you are yourself and you're complex.
And then the labels
You don't wanna
silo
limit
you into
yourself.
other things that are associated. So trumpet player equals musician,
Mhm.
musician equals artist, artist equals liberal voter. That's a bit of a jump, but we do make these irrational associations, and that
Also,
can...
trumpet player means obnoxious. Deal with it, trumpet players.
yeah. Yeah, going at her in the comments or something.
Yeah,
But
fight me.